Welcome into a special edition of the Titans State of the Franchise episode here on A to Z Sports. We're off from being live this week, but we'll be back live next week in Birmingham for SEC Media Days. Going to be a crazy week, but a special Titans Thursday here today.
Yeah, while we are off, we still need you to share this to all of your followers. And also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at A to Z Sports and like our Facebook page at A to Z Sports Nashville.
All right, let's get it going. Welcome into A to Z Sports. I'm Austin Stanley. He is Zach Bingham. Follow us on Twitter at A to Z Sports. Like our Facebook page at A to Z Sports Nashville. We are Nashville's on-demand sports talk show. Got to thank our presenting sponsors right here. Hot Seat Nashville, the number one name in pressure washing for all of your pressure washing needs. HotSeatOfNashville.com has it covered. They have your house, your pool deck, your driveway, your car, your business vehicle. HotSeatNashville.com, again, right there. Then Hyundai of Cool Springs, that's the spot where you're going to get your next vehicle. That's who's driving us down to SEC Media Days. HyundaiCoolSprings.com. Great people in that organization from the front office all the way down to the mechanics and the technicians. So hit them up for your vehicle needs. The Extra Point will be up on our website, A2ZSportsNashville.com, later on today, and that is presented as always by Corner Pub in Brentwood. Zach, State of the Titans franchise. Give me a little phrase that you have for what the Titans are right now.
Well, I think in 2017, heading into this year with all of their acquisitions, all of what John Robinson has been able to accomplish, I think that they're a playoff or bust. I don't think that they can afford to miss the playoffs. They got to the cusp. We all know what happened. The Jacksonville Jaguars ruined everything that one day in Jacksonville. 9-7 is not going to do it. They have to win. At least they have to win the AFC South. A wild card will do it. Yeah. They need to start winning games, and they need to start winning divisional games throughout the course of the season. It can't get down to the end and then miss the playoffs. Yeah. That's where the state of the franchise is. They are in a playoff or bust situation.
Yeah, you can't afford to start off 1-3 on the season, and especially with that tough schedule the Titans have out of the gates with the Raiders, with the Seahawks, with other playoff teams and divisional games like the Jags and the Colts in that first 6 games. And we talked to Brian Rackporn in minicamps. He's still pissed off about losing that Jags game in Jacksonville. Yeah. You have to win the divisional games. And we're going forward throughout this summer, and we'll do our official season picks for the NFL division winners and all that later on. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I'm not going to pick the Titans to win the AFC South. I haven't seen them win divisional games consistently enough for me to do that. If I was actually putting money down in Vegas on the table, my money, I'm not going to pick the Titans to win divisional games because I know they split with the Jags for the last 8 years when they've both been terrible, and the Jags were terrible last year, and the Titans were a lot better, yet they still split. And the Titans haven't been able to beat the Colts since, 2008? It's been so long, and so the Titans have to sweep the Jags. Take care of that one first, and maybe it is a playoff or bust type thing. I think the Titans are ahead of schedule. If I'm saying the Titans state of the franchise, they are ahead of the schedule that John Robinson had when he took the job.
They're ahead of schedule by 1 year because yes, they're not 2-14 or 3-13 anymore.
Right.
They had this really, really good season last year, overachieved, but the expectations have completely flipped because the roster has completely flipped. You have a brand new coach. You're not talking about Ken Wisenhunt. You're not talking about Rustin Webster. You have good quality players. You're now expected to make the playoffs this year. And I think fans expect them to make the playoffs.
Right.
I think that there's a lot of question marks around the AFC South. There's a lot of question marks around, other teams in the AFC in general. The Titans are on the rise. So you cannot go just below and be sitting in the postseason like they've done since 2008.
Yeah, and Pro Football Focus loves what the Titans have done from a roster standpoint and building up. I've seen them have the Titans as a roster standpoint in the top 5 of the NFL and should be a contender for the AFC. I mean, that's asking a lot for John Robinson, Mike Mularkey, Marcus Mariota coming off an injury with all these young weapons on offense. We talk about how much better the offense should be. Let's remember, Corey Davis has yet to play a game. Taywan Taylor, who everybody loves and is just so ready to see Kendall Wright gone out the door, and Taywan Taylor's going to solve all the problems. He hasn't played an NFL game either. Jonnu Smith, people like him. He's yet to play an NFL game. So you're counting on still a lot of young pieces to help you on offense to make this offense dynamic, but you haven't seen him play in the NFL.
You know what? I hear a lot of doubt from you.
Yeah.
And I don't really doubt that much. I think that the Tennessee Titans have the pieces in place. Mariota's health is my only doubt.
Okay.
And that's a big one.
All
but
right.
they've got everybody around them.
I have doubts about the Titans, and I already said a few minutes ago, I'm not going to pick the Titans to win the AFC South. It's not a smart gambling pick if I were a gambling man, which I'm not. But I do have doubts. We'll talk about my doubts of the Titans making the playoffs and what's keeping me skeptical. But first, a little bit about Kona Ice Music City, because it is a Titans Thursday here on A to Z Sports. Kona Ice Music City is the proud sponsor of Mariota Monday. We also did our show last Thursday in front of a Kona Ice shaved ice truck. Monster Mango is the A to Z special flavor.
Oh, yeah.
Kona Ice is out there at Titans practice every week throughout last season. They've already shown up to mini camps, and they'll be around during training camp. So holler at them. Get your birthday party, your other kid's party, your office appreciation day, Kona Ice Music City. Give them a call right there and have them out to your event. So Zach here on A to Z Sports on our off week, but still a Titans Thursday, State of the Titans franchise edition. I'm still skeptical of the Titans.
Do you think they'll make the playoffs? You said that they weren't going to win the AFC South. That doesn't mean that they can't backdoor their way into a wild card.
It's harder to make the playoffs. You need more wins. Like 9-7 isn't going to get you a wild card.
Well, obviously, last year
you've got to
that
have,
showed you that.
most of the time you got to have 10 wins to get feel good about a playoff position in the
I don't know. The
NFL.
Rams backdoored their way into 7-9 a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but that was the poor NFC West back in the day, and they've flipped that.
So
script.
you're out right now on the Titans making the playoffs. Is that
am.
what I hear?
As of right now, yes, I am. As much as I just talked about the offense having a lot of young weapons, and we got to see Corey Davis and Taywan Taylor and these guys prove it on the field. We've got to see more growth from.
Well, you know what I do know from the
Okay,
offense?
okay.
I do know what Marcus Mariota can do.
Right.
I do know that DeMarco Murray led the AFC in rushing last year.
True.
I know that Derrick Henry's working out because if you follow him on Instagram, that dude's beast mode.
Yeah.
I do know they have an all-pro right tackle that was a rookie last year, will probably be even better this year. And I also know that they have a Pro Bowler on the left side that is Taylor Lewan.
Okay.
So pretty good offense there.
That's great. Yeah, the offense has a lot of young pieces on the outside. Inside the offensive line, the transformation was insane.
So they have some known commodities.
Right, okay.
You just spoke of the young rookies.
All right, fine. First off of why I'm skeptical, and John Robinson and Mike Mularkey have both said this numerous times this past offseason. How lucky did the Titans get last year with having almost zero injuries on the offensive line?
But that's a lot of teams go through that.
I
They
know
get
that,
lucky.
but the Titans got so lucky where they were almost untouched on the offensive line. Yes, Mariota got hurt. Their running back, he was dinged up with DeMarco Murray, but was still able to stay,
That's why you have Derrick Henry.
Yeah, and the wide receivers, they didn't have an offensive injury, really.
No,
Besides Mariota in Week 16.
They didn't, but look, that can happen again. That's not too far-fetched.
That rarely happens. But that's not the biggest issue of why I'm skeptical about the Titans making the playoffs. For me, it's about the defense. Because I don't think the defense has been addressed enough to be good enough for the Titans offense to have a bad day. Because what happened in late in the season against Denver, against Kansas City, Marcus Mariota was not that good. The Titans offense was pretty bad, actually.
But against Denver, they won, and against Kansas City, they won.
They won those games, and it came down to a couple key plays, and yeah, Mariota made those key
That's
plays.
football.
But again, the defense got lucky in those games too by playing a bad Broncos quarterback, and the weather in Kansas City was below 0 degrees.
They won both of them.
I know that, Zach. I know that. But again, can the defense play like that and be shut down enough? Because the defense was so bad last year on third downs and in the secondary. Can Adoree Jackson fit the bill as a rookie?
Yes, they've addressed those. I think Kevin Byard will be better. I think Jonathan Cyprien will give you some good level of play. I think Adoree Jackson will impact it not only defensively, but they finally have a returner to set up the offense, so that helps. I think Avery Williamson will be playing a lot harder because it's a contract year. He's a 100-tackle guy. Wesley Woodyard just got extended.
Yeah.
And the defensive line, may be the best defensive line they've had in some time.
Well, the pass rushers, you're including Arakpo and Derek Morgan.
I'm including both outside linebackers. Okay. We don't know what Kevin Dodd is, and that's another story. But Jarrell Casey is a Pro Bowler, and your boy Daquan Jones is improving.
Yeah, he's improving a lot. Again, but it's not about the front seven. And they got lucky on that side with injuries too last year. They got lucky all around
Byard's
the board.
better. Denoris Searcy is no scrub.
I understand that, but it's about the
Logan Ryan.
Logan Ryan's
signed.
better, but again, Logan Ryan. I like Logan Ryan, but what happens after him? Adoree Jackson. There's going to be growing pains there because he's very raw as a cornerback talent. I like Adoree Jackson as a prospect for the long, big picture. Love the guy. I think he's going to be a great player. Just in 2017, when you're saying playoff or bust, he's going to make some big mistakes and get beat over the top. LaShawn Sims has a lot of growth to do as a fifth-round rookie from a year ago to be a guy they count on to play a lot of snaps at cornerback.
Yeah, he also intercepted in that Kansas City game. He had a pretty good game then.
He did, but he had a terrible game against the Bears where the Bears should have won, but they had like 17 drop passes from their wide receivers.
Well, that was Parrish Cox.
And LaShawn Sims was also in that game playing a lot of snaps. I'm just saying the defense is what's going to keep the Titans from making the playoffs if they miss out on the playoffs.
All right.
It won't be on the offense's shoulders.
All right, so Debbie Downer over here. I'll give you there's three reasons. I think that they're going to make the playoffs. Okay. I'm confident in this team. I think that they have made the necessary moves it's a playoff or bust situation. I think they go playoffs right now if I'm a betting man. But I think if I had one argument, it's not about the Titans team. I disagree with you about the defense. I think they've improved vastly on defense, special teams, and offense all around in the last 365 days.
Okay.
I would be concerned about not the Titans, but the quarterbacks in the AFC South. If Andrew Luck continues to progress and that shoulder gets better, he is always a threat because he is a top 5 quarterback in this league.
If he has a team around him, that would also help as well.
So if they play better. Blake Bortles is coming into a contract year.
Yeah.
They've put more pieces around him. If he plays better, and the Jags have known to spoil the Titans' lunch before, I would be concerned about that. But the number one, and one of our viewers from Houston, 40 Acres Strong, is probably smiling right now, but Deshaun Watson.
Right.
That is the number one key concern. If he comes in and elevates that team, the Titans are going to have a tough time making the playoffs. Those are my concerns. It's outside of the Titans' hands. Now they've got to handle business and take care of it.
Yeah, all those quarterbacks that you're saying that might have a good year that hurt the Titans, and the Titans have a young secondary. Like they get more athletic, they got more talented in secondary, but now you have less experience with Sims and then also with Adoree Jackson.
But they have more experience. Adoree Jackson, yes, being a rookie, but the team as the Titans overall are not used anymore after last year. They're not used to losing as much as they were.
Which is a big thing in the NFL.
That's the experience that I'm talking about. You're talking about that they're just going to come up there wide-eyed and they're all rookies. No, they're not. They gained a lot of experience in winning 9 games last year.
But again, week 1, it's a big-time challenge. Then you had the Seahawks early on, too. It's coming out of the gates. The Titans' defense will struggle because of its youth and inexperience, and that's a tough part of the schedule.
Well, we'll find that out. NFL games in general are close.
Right.
You saw that last year. Oh, they had the first game of the season in hand against the Vikings.
And special teams lost it. Marcus Mariota's turnover.
And they spewed it away at the end.
Right.
But they grew throughout the entire season to be a better team. I expect that team this year, not to the previous team to begin the last season.
Well, thanks for watching today's State of the Titans franchise. Tomorrow on Friday, we end the week with a State of the NFL. Again, we'll be live back next week in Birmingham, Alabama for SEC Media Days, which will be a crazy week. So thanks for watching again, and we'll see you tomorrow here on A to Z Sports.